Your cells are attacking each other right now. Not because of a virus, not because of a tumor, because of a thought you had this morning. This is not a metaphor. This is peer-reviewed biology. And the mechanism is so precise, so measurable, that once you understand it, you will never think about your emotional state the same way again. Most people who are exhausted, anxious, or aging faster than they should are being told the problem is their diet, their sleep, or their stress levels. That is incomplete. The problem is deeper than lifestyle. It is happening at the cellular level, in a system so fundamental that ancient lineages encoded its reversal in their most protected teachings. Stay with me. In the next few minutes, you are going to understand exactly what is happening inside your body and the exact mechanism your own cells use to stop it. You have a biological protection system called natural killer cells, NK cells. Their job is surveillance. Every hour of every day they move through your bloodstream looking for cells that have gone wrong. Infected cells, mutated cells, cells your body needs to remove before they become a problem. NK cells are your primary internal defense system. Now here is what nobody tells you about them. NK cells are directly suppressed by cortisol. Not indirectly, not eventually, directly. When cortisol floods your system, natural killer cell activity drops within hours. The surveillance stops, the defense goes offline. And here is the mechanism that should change everything about how you understand your emotional life. Your brain does not distinguish between a physical threat and a psychological one. When you feel fear, your hypothalamus activates. When you feel chronic resentment, your HPA axis, your hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, reads it as a threat signal. Cortisol is released, not once, not temporarily, chronically. A slow, constant drip of the one molecule that tells your NK cells to stand down. A 2021 study published with Study confirmed what immunologists had suspected for years. Negative expectation alone, the anticipation of harm, was sufficient to spike cortisol and suppress natural killer cell activity in measurable, documented ways. You are not just feeling bad, you are dosing your own immune system, every day. The ancient healing traditions understood something modern medicine is only beginning to quantify. In Ayurvedic medicine, they identified a state called ojas, the vital essence. Ojas was described as the refined product of a healthy, harmonious inner life. Its depletion was linked to what we would now call immune collapse, susceptibility to disease, loss of vitality, accelerated aging. The practices designed to cultivate ojas, specific breathwork, meditation, loving kindness rituals, were not spiritual luxuries. They were immune protocols, biological maintenance, passed down in lineages that observed, over generations, which inner states produced long, healthy lives and which ones did not. In the Tibetan Bon tradition, there is a category of illness described as wind disease, caused not by pathogens, but by states of mental agitation, fear, and unresolved grief. The treatment was not herbal, it was relational, it was vibrational. It was the deliberate cultivation of warm emotional states. These traditions did not have flow cytometers to measure NK cell activity, but they had centuries of observation. And what they observed maps, with startling precision, onto what we can now measure in a laboratory. The ancient teachers were not describing spirituality. They were describing immunology, in the language available to them. Now let's make this specific. Let's make it yours. Think about the emotional state you spend the most time in, not the occasional bad day, the baseline. If it is chronic, low-grade anxiety, a background hum of worry about the future, about money, about your body, about whether things will be okay, that is cortisol, daily. That is your NK cells being told to stand down, daily. If it is resentment, an old story about someone who wronged you, a wound you've carried so long it feels like part of your identity, that is cortisol, That is the HPA axis running the same stress signal it would run if you were being chased by a predator. Except there is no predator. There is a memory, and your immune system cannot tell the difference. If it is self-contempt, the voice that tells you you've made too many mistakes, wasted too much time, that it's too late, that is perhaps the most potent nocebo signal a human body can receive, because it is relentless, and it is internal. There is no external threat to resolve. The threat is you. Your cells do not hate you. Your immune system has not betrayed you. It is simply following the signal you are sending it, which means the signal can change. The protocol. The reversal mechanism is called the nocebo to placebo switch, and the most powerful activator of this switch is something your body already knows how to produce: oxytocin. Oxytocin is not just a bonding hormone. Research published in study identifies it as a stress coping molecule, an anti-inflammatory, and an antioxidant with direct immune modulating effects. When oxytocin rises, cortisol falls. When cortisol falls, NK cell activity restores. The ancient practice that most reliably triggers oxytocin release is metta, loving kindness, not as sentiment, as a deliberate biological protocol. Here is the practice. Do this now, or do it tonight before sleep. Phase 1. The body anchor. Place your right hand over your heart, not as a gesture, as a physical anchor. Feel the warmth of your own hand. Feel your chest rise and fall beneath it. This physical contact initiates a proprioceptive signal that shifts autonomic tone within seconds. Phase 2. The breath ratio. Breathe in for 5 counts. Breathe out for 7 counts. Repeat 4 times. The extended exhale activates vagal tone, the parasympathetic branch of your nervous system, and begins to lower thalamic excitability. Cortisol starts its descent here. Phase 3. The warmth recall. Bring to mind one specific moment, not a concept, a moment, when you felt genuinely safe. A person, a place, a sound, an afternoon. Hold it. Let the warmth of that memory fill your chest. If it feels distant, that is normal. Stay with it. The body remembers what the mind has difficulty accessing. Phase 4. The direction. From that warmth, direct it first at yourself, not in words, as a feeling. The same warmth you'd feel toward a child who was scared. You were scared. You were learning to stop dosing yourself with the signal of danger. Hold this for 3 to 5 minutes. The oxytocin shift is measurable within 60 seconds of genuine activation, but 3 to 5 minutes begins to encode the pathway. Here is what happens when you commit to this. In the first week, most people notice a softening in the background anxiety. Not elimination, softening. The baseline hum drops 1 register. By week 3, sleep quality begins to change. This is the cortisol curve normalizing. Your body stops producing the late-night cortisol spikes that interrupt deep sleep. By week 8, something structural has shifted. NK cell activity, in studies measuring compassion meditation practitioners over similar timescales, shows measurable restoration. Your immune surveillance is coming back online. This is not overnight, but it begins the moment you switch the signal. You have been told that your emotional life is separate from your biology. It is not. It never was. The ancient teachers knew this. Modern immunology has now confirmed it. Your cells are not attacking you. Your nervous system is broadcasting a threat signal, and you now know how to change the broadcast. Begin tonight. 1 hand on your heart, 5 breaths, 1 warm memory. Wednesday, I will show you the exact mechanism your body uses to manufacture something more powerful than any prescription on the market. Not from a pharmacy, from within your own cells. The internal pharmacy has been open this entire time. You just didn't know the address.